think about everybody that's out there going about their business and having no idea that this white truck is coming up on them at a high rate of speed, not following obviously any traffic laws right now, going lane to lane, blowing through intersections, nearly missing cars. We've watched a dozen situations here where they've narrowly missed the backs of cars, the fronts of cars, and here we go now into another intersection where they're going to have to do something to continue going. Here we go.
All these cars stopped. It looks like he pauses for not even a brief second to make sure that he's fine, and then just blows on through. He's now by the Brahms and picking up speed once again. So if you're watching this right now and you say, hey, that's my neighborhood, or I have a family member, a loved one that lives over here, give them a heads up right now, because this person is driving so erratically, don't know where they're going to end up at this point. So just give people a heads up.
Yeah, so 164th between Penn and Western now is our location. 164th between Penn and Western. And now look, this truck over in the other lanes of traffic, not even staying in lanes any longer, just going wherever they need to go in order to continue driving. And we're just watching along with you and seeing what is this person's state of mind, that they would continue going knowing that there is nowhere to go. Once you're followed from the air, it's all over. Now you see some Ogini trucks there working. Here we go, another intersection. Yep, narrowly missing two cars there.
And the thing too about, we've been on countless chases before. You never know when they're going to end, how they're going to come to an end, if anybody else is going to get hurt in the meantime. And this could go on for hours before this person gets out of the car, hops out on foot, before this person, before troopers put a stop to this chase. So this just started, within about half an hour, and this person has made his or her way across the metro at this point.
Yeah, and when you see this
really
kind of
fast
situation, they're not slowing down, they're not doing anything but continuing to travel at a high rate of speed, continuing to put other people's lives at risk in addition to their own. It's so frustrating, I imagine, for law enforcement to see this. And here we go, now we're coming up to another intersection.
This is construction.
We're back in Edmond, and let's see, what are you going to do here now? How to slow down, because there's nowhere to go. There's cars to the left, cars in front. And now
so this
having
is
to figure it out.
construction at 15th and Santa Fe, we're being told. So you see all those cones. Yep, all that gravel, that's exactly what this person has just gone through.
This is passing Santa Fe High School. They're not in session just yet, but teachers are back. There are teachers there getting ready for school, which goes back in session on Friday for kids in Edmond. So
just saw another chopper.
You hate to see that. And there's also kids at the school. Should mention, there's band practices, there's kids that are at schools, we know for sure. So don't know exactly who's there, but imagine there are students there. There are teachers there, even though school hasn't started yet. This is approaching Kelly.
Blew through another intersection here, and it's another residential area. So you imagine if the kids aren't in school in this part of town, they're enjoyed you saw a pool, maybe out walking from house to house in the neighborhoods. And this truck is on the loose going at really high rates of speed. And we're just seeing one intersection after the other. And let us know the next time you have a major street to tell us. That looks like is that a shopping center of sorts?
Yeah, and you imagine, like you said, it's the final days before all the kids up in Edmond go back to school. So now he's going to have to go to the right, going off into the grass, trying to get around these cars. There's a lot of families that are out right now running those last minute errands, getting all the things ready for school. And so there are kids and families out and about right now while this person continues in this high speed chase.
And just being told too, it does sound like there's a trooper that is going to be close to following. Can't quite get the trooper in the shot just yet, but inching in closer on this this vehicle that we're following here. So hopefully here within the next few minutes, we're starting to see a number of different units get on his or her tail.
And look how fast.
Yeah.
Really picking up speed now.
Reckless.
And to know how many cars are out there right now, and that, again, they're kids. It's almost like you wish school was in session in Edmond, because then the kids would be off the roads. There's parents, there's kids coming up on Boulevard now that are out and about doing their last minute school shopping, that are out. And this person was Edmond Memorial High School. This person going so fast now. We've seen the speeds wax and wane, and now we're back to a speed that is just really terrifying to see.
Also just being told Edmond Memorial High School is having a back to school luncheon that this driver is just about to pass. So lots of traffic here. And even if it's not a family or parent getting back to school, just somebody who's on their lunch break.
Yeah.
It's 11:30 at this point on a Monday. So lots of traffic approaching Bryant at this point. And we're not really seeing these speeds slow down all that much, to be honest with you. Look, going in the complete opposite lane.
It's a busy, busy intersection. Yeah.
And yeah, blowing through yet another one.
This is Coltrane here. Again, 15th and Coltrane. And this speed of this chase continues to reach really high speeds. We know that this person being followed from the air by law enforcement, so they have eyes on the person. This was a stolen truck, reported as a stolen truck, and then turned into this high-speed chase. We've watched the person go on highway into more residential areas, and now in the Edmond area, this chase not letting up, and the person has narrowly missed dozens of cars as they continue to try to get away.
And we do know that trooper, our producers tell us that they have eyes on a trooper that's far in the distance, but we have not seen one trooper unit just yet. Again, this person is driving so erratically, taking random routes that aren't even meant for cars. So you imagine the challenge that that poses to our troopers and officials trying to get on this person's tail and bring this to an end at a very busy part of a Monday morning.
Looks like this person's headed for I-35, and there was at that last intersection, there was a Edmond police officer, we believe, maybe there unintentionally or maybe they're on purpose trying to help in this situation. But this person now may be headed to I-35, and we're on 15th Street here and watching again these high, I passed over I-35, so that's not the route. Maybe has a different way. And don't you wonder, does this person even know where they are right now? They may or may not. They may just be going any which way that they can to try to get away from police. But again, when you're followed in the air, there's no hope.
Okay, so we're being told the route that this person is taking right now basically dead ends into Arcadia Lake. Don't know if this person realizes that, but that's about to be what they're about to come up. And they're running off adrenaline. You know that at this point. That's probably just overtaken his or her body.
So you're passing to the north side of this would be, different medical facilities that are over there. There's churches over there. And then this is really residential. Before you get back there, you all know, before you get back there to the lake, it's just a lot of homes. And then when you get back to the lake, that's it. You've got the lake, and there's a little watchtower there, a little watch office there. You're greeted by those folks, and there's nowhere to go. So this person may then just quickly be turning right back around on 15th.
Yeah, and hoping, if that's the case, if this does dead end and he or she turns back around, that the trooper who is on the tail of this vehicle can do something. There are more units there waiting for this person.
Yeah, here we go. Right there's the entrance. Right there is the entrance to Arcadia Lake. So see, now this is all that new parking that they've set up there for the trail. But see, now the person's saying, yeah, I can't go through there. There's going to be the little watch out. Yep, there's police.
Yes.
Here we go.
Come on. Okay. Well, we have 2 units on the tail now. This is the first time we've seen that in, some 20 minutes on air with you. So this guy will officially be covered from the air and the ground.
Yeah, this was maybe the best thing that could happen to actually slow the person down and get police a little bit closer to them to potentially have them stop. And don't you hope that there are units that are coming the other direction on 15th and maybe they both could meet and stop this thing before it goes on to I-30.
There
here we go. Here's some more units.
Any stop sticks?
Yep, no.
Okay, so he's gone past that group at this point. So you're going back out towards the busy part of town, yeah? Back to all the main streets? Those were spike strips. Okay.
Maybe the tires are blown out now. Looks like the left rear, to me, looks like it's not doing well. Tire there.
It wasn't doing well at Lake Hefner. Remember when
now look at that. The front left and the rear left completely blown out. So this can only go so far, you would imagine. Again, right now we're in the Arcadia Lake area, everyone, in this high-speed chase. Police have caught up, but now this person has continued to go a different direction, trying to get away from police after figuring out that they were at a dead end.
And trying to put yourself in this person's shoes, whoever is behind the wheel, do you think, okay, I can feel the tires not doing well. Is my best bet to stop in one of these really vegetated areas, all the trees, get out on foot, and then hide?
It's shredding, yeah. Look at the smoke coming up. Eventually, this might not be able to go. The truck might not be able to go anywhere, at any point. Yeah, looks like it's slow. Looks like the person's slowing down now and maybe having to figure out something else. The truck may be on its final legs.
Oh,
No, this is
blew
now
through
going
that's
into
a nice
a
fence.
residential, into a home. This is not good.
That's
Police
a
right
very
behind the
nice
person.
fence.
This is a heavily covered area with the trees there, so it makes it a little bit harder for us to watch. But we know the police are right behind this person right now, so they've blown through this fence, now going back into a residential area.
And there are more work trucks here. Look at this one right here at the bottom of the screen. And this is not even a road. It looks like probably a private trail, private driveway for a farm.
Look at this. Can you imagine this person being at home right now watching this pull up on their drive? Thankfully, police are right there, and we can just hope for a peaceful ending very quickly.
Yeah. And now your fence is ruined.
Now here's the home. Here's the home. The person stopped. This is a person's home. Ran into a tree.
We're about to get out of this truck, I would
Okay.
imagine.
Let's hope the person. Okay, are they on foot?
Yeah. Let's pivot around and see. You see that smoke still coming out from the back of this truck. That truck's
Yeah,
not
there
going
they go. He's
anywhere.
on foot. Police are now
He's
in a
running.
foot pursuit now.
Okay. Sky 5's going to stay on top of this, but it's hard to see through this canopy of trees. We can make out small movements, but at this point, he is
Here you
very
go. It looks
well
like
hidden.
the top middle of your screen there, top left of your screen. Here you're going to come to an opening where we might see the person, and hopefully police are right there.
Hey, Jenny Ann, do you have an exact kind of location of this area? We haven't given
33rd and Air Depot in that Arcadia Lake area.
But yeah, if you recognize this house, please give this homeowner a heads up. No idea if anybody's home, but the driver has crashed that truck into a tree, now on foot. We saw troopers follow them into this driveway after he blew out through the fence.
Yeah, it's really hard to see this, like you were saying, the canopy of trees there, but we know that this high-speed police pursuit has ended in the sense that the car or the truck has stopped, but now it is a foot chase. So it went from being a high-speed chase with this truck, now it is a foot chase. The person got out of the truck and police followed, and they are in the trees there, in the wooded area there, looking for this person.
And look, I know the Sky 5 live banner is kind of covering it, but in the main driveway, you could just see a trail of troopers following in. So there are a lot of people on this property now trying to catch this person.
Yeah, we're looking too, just to see any type of movement that we might be able to see. An indication that we didn't see anybody come into this clearing, maybe that indicates that they have apprehended this person, because it seemed like the person was running straight for what was going to be a little bit of a clearing there. But we're watching along with you. Again, this started
Who's this?
about 30 minutes ago. Is that law enforcement?
Can we?
That might be, maybe that's a homeowner. That person's moving slow enough that you wonder if they're
Does the homeowner
somehow
know that something's
going on and wanting to know what is going on there. Yeah, this started again as a chase involving a stolen vehicle, a white truck. We watched this truck go onto the highway. We watched this truck go onto smaller roads into really busy intersections. Dozens and dozens of near misses during this whole thing. Right now it's stopped in this residential area, in this wooded area, as it now has turned into a foot pursuit.
And you can see up here, if the camera still pans, K9 units are now being used. So they're bringing those out from the patrol cars. They're now searching all these trees. This property, it looks like lots of different homes here. Maybe this home has a barn. We saw that trail earlier. But it's kind of hard to, get your bearings on where everybody is when everybody is looking for this guy amongst all these trees.
And also thinking about just one of the other elements that law enforcement dealing with this morning, the extreme heat. It is so hot, and to go then now out on foot looking for this person, just another level of intensity that they're dealing with this morning, trying to track this person down.
The person we just saw, was that officer? I couldn't tell by it was officer. Okay.
And just here we go. Now we've got some law enforcement there. They've got, like you said, the K9 units are in full effect. And this unit, this K9 may be one that is used to actually stop a person. We know there's ones that will kind of sniff out. That's part of their job.
Right.
And then there's others that just go after and apprehend a suspect.
And he's being joined here on the right-hand side by another officer. And I wonder if they put that dog in that truck had him smell around and then let him loose to go find his trail.
Yeah.
I can't tell. You know, it's hard to tell. Is there water here? Is there a creek in there? It's this vantage point it's just difficult. So we're all watching this live together, everybody.
Yeah, and just it really makes you appreciate what law enforcement does to be able to go in now to a wooded area, dealing with someone they have no idea the person's state of mind. They have no idea what kind of weapons the person may have on them, but they've just taken them on a 30+ minute high-speed chase, willing to put their life at risk and dozens of people's lives at risk. And now law enforcement goes into this wooded area looking for the person. Really makes you appreciate the work that they do, and also the extreme heat that they're dealing with today is no joke.
Yeah, that heat index, as Eric was saying earlier, reaching up to 115 today. And, you know, thankfully a little bit of shade from some of these trees, but that doesn't really help much in the scheme of things when you're talking about 115. But this property looks very large, and we knew if this person got out on foot, this was going to be a challenge. And looks like that dog wants to go through the fence that way, up to the left. But again, East 33rd and Air Depot. You're talking about the Arcadia Lake area. So if you're familiar, if you're watching this and you're in that area, just know that this is happening.
Yeah,
Be on high alert.
One of our crews is on the ground as well. We'll check in with them momentarily as they get set up, ready to give us a live report from what they're seeing. But this situation now involved in a foot pursuit went from a high-speed chase that started and went over highways and into various different roads. Now we're in the Edmond area, and there is someone in front of their home, probably wondering what in the world has happened, hearing all of the choppers and knowing that now there's a person on the loose in their neighborhood in this very wooded area. Really, the person who's behind the wheel there couldn't have picked a better area in the sense that it's very, a lot of terrain to cover. Yeah, so.
And if it is the toolbox in the back of the truck, if that was the purpose, as we all know, not worth it, but who knows what the motive is going to be when this all is said and done.
We're watching right now as Sky 5 is looking over this wooded area and looking for where are police looking. Here's our ground crew on the right-hand side. They're taking a live look. And do you see right there in the distance, that is the little unit that you come upon when you go to Arcadia Lake. You've got to check in there before you're allowed to go through. And this is the area where they've stopped and have a live look there, because there are a number of homes in this area as well. And kind of secluded homes. You might live out there if you're not wanting a big neighborhood, want to have a lot of land, want to maybe have your farm out there. So it's an area that people live in. It's a very peaceful area, now totally disrupted this morning by this high-speed chase.
And thinking about the lake too, with all the back to school parents who have dropped the kids off and they want to go, this is the only time of day I have to go on a run, go to the lake, get my exercise in, and now this has become, scene of a crime and a watch here at this point. But yeah, it's hot. Hey, do we have a reporter there on the ground by chance? Okay. Well, let us know if and when we'll be able to talk to Dylan Richards. Okay, copy. We'll talk to Dylan in just a little bit. But there on the left from Sky 5, look at how many trees we're talking about here. This is not just a few dotted around the lake. These are the
very
woods.
Wooded area, and right around that Arcadia Lake area. If you've ever driven down there, many times you drive down 15th and you see homes, but they're off in the distance. They're back away. They've got a number of acres to each of those properties. And now this person in that area, as they stopped and got out on foot, and police we've seen, they're also on foot, and they have a canine unit that they're using out there to try to track this person down. But those homeowners, I imagine, it's terrifying to be there and not know where this person is, want this person caught as everybody else. And just the near misses that we watched, dozens and dozens of near misses, this person going so fast at times. Just really could have been a lot different situation on the road.
Yeah, and the damages too now to this property. We watched him just barrel through that front gate. That's not inexpensive. So the homeowner will have a lot to do from here, unfortunately. I guess the silver lining is he's not going into the wrong way of traffic anymore with the rest of the metro. He's contained to the trees where the car isn't a weapon anymore.
Yeah. And now what you're looking at is just the canopy of trees in this wooded area near Arcadia Lake, where the person stopped, went down a residential road, private road, stopped, got out on foot. And now police are looking for that person as well. No indications that they found them yet, because we watched them use the canine unit and start to walk around. But we are now going to toss to our own Dylan Richards, who is there on the ground. Dylan, what are you gathering from your vantage point?
We are just getting here to Southeast 33rd and Air Depot. I can just kind of show you what we're looking at here. More and more police officers starting to arrive at the scene here, including Edmond Police, who just pulled up a few moments ago. Continues to be a very active scene. As you can see, we have cops with long guns out right now who are kind of looking at this scene right now. We're right in front of this entrance to the park here. We have two, obviously, that Edmond officer starting to pull away right now. But we're right here at this intersection, and we can see those choppers going around this very wooded area over here. And so, we're not sure if this is just a perimeter right here or exactly what we're looking at, but we can see, as you can tell, these two Edmond officers now headed out, and there's their one right there, very, very low to the ground, as they continue to search for this person in again, a very wooded area, and again, as you guys were talking about, very, very hot temperatures out here, with all these officers who are out here taking a look at all this right now. We're going to continue to report, see what we can see right here. For now, I'll throw it back to you.
And Dylan, one more question, if you can still hear me. I know you just made your way to the scene. Any sort of information about what this has done to traffic in the surrounding areas? Was it hard for you to even get to this spot?
Well, oddly enough, for us, it was not, because we got right off the turnpike and came over here. So for us, it was not. I can imagine, though, that some of those other streets, especially in that Edmond area where that traffic tends to back up, I know he went through, or this driver went through that area. I can imagine that the traffic was quite bad over there. But no, for us, oddly enough, it was not. But I can imagine it's backing up right now.
Okay,
Dylan, thank you so much for your perspective there, and keep us posted as you learn more. If you're just now joining us, wanted to let you know that a pursuit has ended, but now the suspect is involved in a foot chase. So this ended in that area of South Air Depot, East 33rd Street, right there by Arcadia Lake. Watch the person come very close to that lake property and then turn around and then drive down a private road and then stopped and got out on foot. And now this has become a foot pursuit in a wooded area, which makes it really especially challenging because no longer are you visible from the air. It's all now underneath this canopy of trees.
And there were some thoughts too for those officers there. You don't know if this person is armed, if he is in right mind. I mean, we would think not, but you don't know that. But again, does he have weapons? You don't know. And with all that vast land out there, do you just sit in one spot and wait because you can hear the rustling and all the trees and the brush and the leaves? We have eyes here on some of those officers just trying to pick new trails and see if he or she went down that path with their canine units.
Yeah, and really feel good knowing, like you said, the canine unit is there, and that can just add another element of search and figuring out where this person might be.
Protection.
And this was a stolen vehicle, and it was a work truck, it looked like, had probably some tools in the back, and you're not sure exactly why this white truck was targeted. What was it about it? Was it left running? Was it, what was it that made it so attractive? Was it the tools in the back? But suddenly it came into a very high-speed chase on the highway into residential areas. Lots of near misses, went through many intersections, and also just narrowly missing cars in this Edmond area. And you see there, just beyond the tree coverage, that there are some officers walking and looking.
Yeah.
And we're watching with you and watching them.
And you just heard Dylan too about the Edmond police officers who just pulled up. They brought out guns, they brought out weapons. It does look like this person is armed, at least that's what it seemed through the trees, maybe. Yeah, he's got a gun in his right hand. And what an alarming situation too for all those troopers, Edmond police who are there on the scene, not knowing, okay, is the next trail, is the next turn going to lead me to this person? You hope that it does because you want this to come to an end, but you also don't know what this person is capable of. And that's the really scary part of this, amongst the trees.
And the story turned when this person headed down what we believe at the time was 15th, right for Arcadia Lake, and kind of came to a dead end. There was really nowhere to go, turned back around, came back out, had to then drive down a private road to try to get off of the trail of police, because at that point we saw at least 4 or 5 units were in very close pursuit. Person bailed out, ran into the woods, and now this has turned into a foot pursuit. But this wooded area just adding another challenge. And like we've been talking about, the heat here. And here's our unit on the move, kind of getting a different vantage point for you, just to see what they see. Because of course around Arcadia Lake there are many different spots, such a big lake, and of course near highways as well. You know, I-35, I-44 right there. You wonder if the person might run out onto a road and then try to get to the highway and go that way.
We've seen him blow through Lake Hefner, parking lots, bike trails, past schools, some of which haven't been in session, but there are back to school luncheons, activities. Teachers are definitely there preparing for the new school year. But again, if you're just now turning on our TV, we're following a foot pursuit at this point. But on the right-hand side of your screen, that's from one of our news units. I don't know if we've been told to move and kind of remaneuver so that it's in the best interest of the troopers here. Looks like there's a unit up ahead. And on the left is from Sky 5 over the really vast area of just wooded trees in this home that the person decided to kind of end the car chase and then turn it into a foot pursuit.
Yeah, just so scary thinking about the people living in that area. And now there's a person that is considered dangerous on the loose after taking police on this high-speed chase that went to such high speeds at times. Don't have exact speeds, but we were guesstimating at least 100 miles an hour plus at different points. And we're zooming in on different things and kind of looking. There's the white truck. So if you see there in the distance, the little speck of white, that is the white truck that was the reported stolen vehicle that suddenly became part of this chase. And there's some other police units now in this portion of the neighborhood, and a number of homes there. People, if you live out in this area too, you know, you're getting a little bit of acreage, right? You're living out there near Arcadia Lake. You've got a number of acres on your property, included wooded area. You usually, you know, go out there for a peaceful neighborhood, quiet neighborhood. And now look at this, officers with guns drawn.
Is this where he blew in? Where he came in and hit those trash cans? Okay. So when he first entered this property, he just rammed through the main fence that was closed, tore it off the hinges, and then made his or her way back into that wooded area, and looked like they hit a tree. We saw some rustling with those leaves. It looks like they hit a tree and then opened the door and got out. And again, we have no idea where this person is, and the troopers are trying to figure out the same.
Yeah, looking here, Sky 5 is kind of panning over this area. We watched that trooper walking back up the drive there, securing the scene on one end and then securing it all different spots around. Like we saw our news crew, they were in a spot where this chase had kind of turned around. And here is another law enforcement official probably just holding things down on this end, waiting to get word on whether or not this person has been detained or whether they continue the foot pursuit. And you wonder what the protocol is. How do they know how long to go? You've got this person in a residential area, that's not good. But also you're dealing with extreme heat and wanting to know what kind of resources can they dedicate to this? Do they just try to wait the person out? Here's also the part of Arcadia Lake. So you've got body of water there, you've got highways nearby, and then all of this forest to go through.
And then also the number of troopers and officials they had to deploy for this. You see all those houses that are dotted amongst the trees. You imagine that there's at least one trooper telling other houses in the area, somebody is on the loose here. Lock yourselves inside. Don't tell loved ones to come home just yet. Troopers probably out on the main roads surrounding this Arcadia Lake area, trying to keep traffic in control just in case that person was to leave again. I don't think that's going to happen, but
it's so scary for anybody living there to not know where this person is and that at any point they might come up on your home. Glad to know this is not a heavily populated area, just a few homes here, but no less scary for anyone that lives there. And we're taking a look into here. I don't know if we're seeing something or just kind of scanning.
And that's a body of water to the right. You think he could have, here?
Let's go out to Dylan Richards again. Dylan, where are you now and what are you seeing?
Marky Mac, yeah, we made our way over to Whitetail Run and Air Depot. I want to show you right in here. You can see that gate there. That looks to me like it may be that gate that he was able to ram through. You can see it's bent right there. You also see the mail being delivered right now as well. We've also seen debris on the side of the road right here in this area. Tires on the side of the road, all kinds of other debris all over the place. And we are continuing to see that very, significant police presence out here, as you can imagine. All sorts of different departments. We got the troopers, Edmond Police, all sorts of different police departments continuing to sort of canvass and go back and forth in this area. You can see the choppers up above still over this wooded area, and you can see that continue to happen right now. And we are going to continue to follow what's happening inside, we think, this general area right here. You can see somebody driving into there right now, and again, you can see what looks to be that bent, that bent gate that's been bent off to the side, and we're continuing to see that kind of that debris and all that stuff on the side of the road. Over here, we have not seen in the past couple of minutes as much law enforcement as we were seeing earlier. We were over on 33rd and Air Depot, and there we were kind of seeing quite a bit of law enforcement come up, and then they left and went out, we think this direction, but we've come up to here and are continuing to watch this entrance into what just looks like a residential property. There's some of those bigger houses over here that all have those kind of long private drives going up to the house, and that's, as far as we can tell, what we're looking at right here. And as Sky 5 continues to be over this, and as we continue to see the police chopper fly around above this scene, again, as you've all been saying, a very wooded area, very tough to look for somebody in the way that these trees are. I mean, if you know this area, it's very, very dense, very wooded, very hard to find somebody who's on foot, and on top of that, very hard to see somebody from the air, especially if they're not in a vehicle that you can see. And on top of that, as you all have been saying, I can tell you standing out here, it is already quite hot outside, and so officers and any law enforcement who's out here is also dealing with that fact, just the extreme heat outside right now, dealing with that as they continue to search for this person out here.
Yeah, a lot of action happening through that fence. And Dylan, another question for you. I know you've been talking about who's in the air, who's on the ground. Talk about numbers. How many troopers, how many officers are we talking about here? I imagine you've seen so many of them pull through that driveway. Any idea in terms of numbers? Okay, we lost Dylan, but we'll check back in with him shortly. Let's go back to Sky 5, panning out. We're now seeing a couple different lakes here, a couple bodies of water that we hadn't seen in the past. Another location where this person could go for hiding. Definitely be the coolest place to go hide.
Yeah, you've got that little body of water. You've got Arcadia Lake right there, and then you've got a few highways nearby. And the idea, though, the person, if they're going to get to any of those things, whether it be Arcadia Lake, whether it be the highway, whether it be a regular road, they're going to have to come out from that canopy of trees. But imagine they're probably waiting, hanging out, but there is a canine unit on the ground. And so that really changes the story, because that then adds just another element to the ability to search. A number of homes now that we've kind of gone and looked at this vantage point in that area. So there's a lot of homes. If you have a home out there, you're going to have a little bit of acreage. You come out there for a little bit of peace and privacy. You're going to have a nice lakefront home potentially. And so now this neighborhood just completely interrupted by this police pursuit. Person headed towards Arcadia Lake, double backed when they figured out that police were there waiting.
Yeah, this is probably a first for a lot of people in that area.
Yeah,
definitely
I would imagine so.
Not used to this. But again, Sky 5, as well as other choppers, Air 1, everybody is over this right now, trying to help police, trying to help the troopers, definitely too, who are on the ground. Hey, do y'all have anything from the air? No. Do y'all have anything from the ground? No. Should we remove? So they're definitely all working in tandem to try to bring this person to justice. And since that person first got out of the truck, we have not laid eyes on him or her again. No,
they went right into the forest, right into this wooded area, and have not been seen since. So here we go. Look here.
Oh, he's in custody.
Oh, there he is. He's in custody. Okay, so you have law enforcement there. The person that was behind the wheel is apparently the person that's wearing this ball cap here, and we're going to see as they come out from behind this tree they have been apprehended. So just to get a look at the person as Sky 5 gets a steady shot here to see.
This has been going on for over an hour at this point.
Yeah.
And does he look wet? I can't tell if it looks like he's been hiding in one of those bodies of water. Hands behind his back, he's cuffed.
Yeah.
They're going to lead him to the closest patrol unit. And
Yeah.
she's still armed. If you look at her, they're still not taking any chances, even though he has his arms behind his back.
Yeah, this person's wearing a
Just
ball
don't know.
cap, has a beard, looks to be very slim build, couple tattoos there, and you wonder exactly what was the state of mind that would lead this person to go at such high rates of speed, very dangerous situation. This right here, the best possible outcome in the sense that the person was caught pretty quickly on the ground for a number of minutes, but the fact that police were able to find him is pretty miraculous.
Okay, 12 o'clock, everybody, on the dot. If you're just now turning on your TV, we want to re-rack for you what we have followed up until this point. This has been going on for a little bit more than an hour. Started as a stolen vehicle that was reported, a white truck. It looked like a toolbox in the back of it, some items, going high rates of speed over by Lake Hefner, I-35, ended up here over at Arcadia Lake. And then he blew through a fence of this property, and then it turned into a foot pursuit, Maggie.
And now you're watching this person being led out through this person. Can you imagine the people who owns this home and this is happening on their property? Here they go. They've gotten this person now who has led police on this high-speed chase. They wrecked and then went out on foot, and police, several different agencies, including OHP, Edmond Police, all taking part to track this person down. A canine unit involved at some point. So there they are underneath this awning at this home, a private residence, while they figure out exactly. There's the canine unit right there. We're not sure if this this pup had anything to do. But you see the dog panting there because it is so hot outside. And you just feel for the officers that went into this wooded area not knowing what they were dealing with. But this has now been resolved.
And we're being told, too, the folks in dark uniform, those are Edmond Police. So, again, Edmond Police troopers were involved in this. Also, too, miraculously, that nobody was hit by his truck when he was going down the wrong lanes of the highways, bike lanes over on Lake Hefner. I mean, it really is miraculous that not a single person has been hurt in this entire ordeal for the past hour. And it's always great when it ends with the person in custody. Officers are okay, dogs are just fine, homeowners just a little bit rattled.
And you see there an officer just hosing down there, trying to get some relief from the extreme heat out there, and to be out on foot chasing somebody has got to really be such a strain. OKCPD, OHP, Edmond Police units coming together to track down this person. And again, here we are at 12:02, everyone, and want to just kind of wrap you up here. And thank you for watching us as we have taken you along for what was a high-speed chase that ended peacefully with the person now in custody.
This has finally come to an end. Thank you for watching, and we now send you back to regular programming.